Welcome to Aired Out, brought to you by Capitol Showplace Montpelier and Paramount Theater Barrie. At FGBtheaters.com, CW Print and Design in Barrie, at CWPrintDesign.com, Peak Entertainment, PeakDJ.com, Cruise Planners, your land and cruise experts. In Vermont, CruisePlanners.com, Donnybrook Fight Promotions of Williamstown, CBDCrave.com. Presented by CVTV, Public Access Channel 192 and 194, CVTV723.org, Fontaine Forestry and Millworks, Route 14 East Montpelier. Custom orders, rough, kiln dry, plain, tongue and groove, or shiplap. FontaineMillworks.com and Fly on the Wall Productions. Now, let's get aired out. Buckle up. We have one hell of a show for you tonight on Aired Out. I'm J.D. Green. Hello, everybody. Our show tonight presented by Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance of Orange. Not just a job, a passion. We love those guys over there. Residential and commercial, always fully insured. Find them on Facebook, Jason Gauthier. Project Independence, adult daycare and adult health services right here in the heart of Barrie on North Main Street, and operated in partnership with Gifford Retirement Communities, pibarrie.org, to learn more about what you might be missing out. Fontaine Forestry and Millworks of East Montpelier, custom orders, rough cut, planed, tongue and groove, shiplap, kiln dried. It's what you see every night that you watch Aired Out right here on my podcast. Beautiful work by Mark Fontaine. Fly on the Wall Productions, and, of course, Central Vermont Television, CVTV, your local cable channel 192 and 194, CVTV723.org. Well, then, tonight on the show, I have to say, first off, pardon my hair tonight. I'm having an incredibly bad hair day, and I understand that, and I've accepted it. And I'm tired of fighting, so I've just kind of let it go. When you talk about hair, though, you have to talk about Pitz Quattrone, because this guy has hair like none other. Pitz, welcome to the show, buddy.
J.D. Green.
Now, what have you? When people look at you, do they mistake you for a character out of Lord of the Rings, or
Gollum?
Really?
Yeah. I've gotten Gollum before.
Have you seriously?
By my daughter, actually.
Buddy, I am so happy that you're here. Seriously, no joke. I have wanted to have you on this show since I started it back in January, I think it was, December or January.
All right, almost a year.
Almost a year.
Cool.
Almost a year.
Yeah, well, my work schedule was always kind of wacky, and I couldn't make it here, but now that has adjusted. So I am here for you, my friend.
So we have a lot to talk about. We're gonna get to all of it. Let me first say, okay, I don't need no damn notes when I have Pitz Quattrone on the show.
All right, my friend.
It's all right here, but most of it right here, buddy.
Thanks, man.
You have had, amen to that, a big exhale. One hell of a year. But what's really cool about the past year of your life, which has been quite difficult, is that the triumph behind it has been something that I think overshadows the hardship that you've gone through and the battle and the worry, because you've come out on top, and that's part of your soul now. That's going to stay with you for the rest of your life. There was a night that we celebrated your life at the Barrie Opera House, which was just, I got to tell you, it's. I've been to so many concerts. I've been to so many shows. That's truly one that I'll never forget.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
When was that?
June 7th.
Okay.
Of 2019.
I think it was a Friday night.
It was.
And it was a concert, basically a benefit concert for you, the beneficiary, and your wife, because you had just undergone some heart surgery.
Yeah, open heart surgery 2 months prior. And the heart surgery was an instant mind blower and totally out of nowhere.
We were working together at the Radio Vermont group in Waterbury, and I heard the phone call that came in from you saying, I'm not feeling well. I'm not coming in today. I'm going to the doctor. You went to the doctor, and the doc said what?
Well, I went to the emergency room. Back up a little bit. 3 weeks before that happened, I was feeling some weird stuff in my chest.
Yeah.
For about a day, and then it went away. It's like, all right, cool, it's gone. And then 3 weeks later, I felt that I woke up on a Monday, and I felt that same thing. I'm like, oh, that weird thing is back again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'll just ride it out like I did last month, 3 weeks prior or so. And so 24 hours later, Tuesday morning, I woke up and it wasn't going away. It was the same thing. I'm like, this may be something. So I called my doctor. And I had a heart murmur. I knew about that 15 years back.
Yeah.
Let's keep an eye on it. So I called my doctor, and the nurse who answered, I was describing what I was feeling, and she had my chart right there. And she's like, you know what, Mr. Quattrone, you need to go to the ER now. So that kind of blew my mind right there. And so I went to the ER at Central Vermont here. And I told him what was going on. I thought maybe a chest cold, walking pneumonia, worst case, and did a bunch of tests. 3 hours later, the doctor says, you know what, Mr. Quattrone, within 2 weeks, you have to have open heart surgery for aortic valve replacement.
And you're how old?
At the time, I was 56.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born with a faulty valve. So it was working overtime its entire lifespan, and it was starting to give eventually. Sure. So it was a plumbing issue.
It was a plumbing issue.
And you got to swap out the valve.
And of course, your wife and your baby girl were in England.
Yeah, they were in Europe at the time, and I was in a state of shock for 5, 6, 7 days.
You're such a well-known dude. Everybody knows you. And I'll tell you right now, if you don't know Pitz Quattrone, man, you're missing out. You need to enlighten yourself, open your eyes to this guy. He lives right here in Vermont, and he is so remarkably talented and so funny and such a wonderful human being. But everybody rallied together for you almost immediately.
Yeah.
And it started with Chad Hollister.
Yep.
And got quickly picked up some momentum.
And shrimp.
And there was a benefit concert organized for you with much help from Dan Casey, the executive director over at the Barrie Opera House.
Absolutely.
And we organized this amazing show with just a huge, I'm going to say it, cornucopia of musicians that just came together and just said, hey, man, I want to volunteer. I want to play. Let's throw some money in the pot for Pitz.
And my family.
And your family. Your insurance was absolute shit.
Yeah, crappy insurance, independent musician, working part-time where they don't offer part-timers any health benefits.
Right.
Super high deductible,
right.
The whole deal. And it costs a lot of money to have open heart surgery. And if you have crappy insurance, it costs you a lot.
Forget it.
Yeah, so you guys all came together, and the whole Central Vermont community, business community,
right?
Friends, family, neighbors, people I haven't seen in so long come out, and that concert. There's a lot of the videos on YouTube.
Yes.
Individual songs that Jim Gallagher, the videographer from Montpelier, he put together an incredible collection of tunes. So the whole night is captured on video. It's on YouTube.
And when you said to me, listen, JD, I got to have Dave Keller there. I got to have Chad Hollister there. I got to have Shrimp. I'm thinking, okay, he wants Shrimp at the gig. So we're going to head to Price Chopper and see if they've, How many? So, what do they have any specials on shrimp?
$4.99 a pound.
I at the time I did not know who the hell shrimp is.
Yeah.
Who's shrimp?
He's one of my brothers, from a different mother.
Yeah.
That I've known for a long time. Fantastic guy.
Yeah.
Great musician, arranger, composer. He does a lot. He's very producer.
Yeah.
Super skilled guy. He lives up in Cabot.
Yeah.
And so you guys all came together. And actually, it's cool because, each of us brought people from different circles. And then that night, it was like a big gathering of people from all over the place.
And then you got Chris Robertson.
Yeah, brother Chris Robertson, another one of my brothers from a different mother. And
when you guys were sound checking that night, I was running around on the stage with my phone on Facebook Live, and I literally could not believe my ears. The funk that was coming out of you guys was so magical. I mean, it really is something amazing. And the whole time I was thinking, and I've felt this many times, I cannot believe the caliber of talent that's coming out of this tiny little state in New England.
Yeah, man, I hear you.
Was unreal.
Well, that funk you're talking about is the killer rhythm section of my band, the Freelancers. Tom Arnold on drums, Chris Doncaster on bass. Those two guys are one, and in my opinion, there's no better rhythm section in this state at any level, period.
Yeah. We have to talk about what in the hell is on this desk right here tonight. At some point, we're going to get to it.
Okay.
But man, it's you cannot put Pitz Quattrone in a basket. You're such an interesting guy.
Thanks, man.
And you're dabbling with all kinds of stuff, and you have. And I think when I first met you, I introduced you as Fitz, and I knew I was introducing you on stage. You were about ready to go out and do a show. I think we're at the rope toe there.
Yeah, Northeast Slopes.
Yeah, Northeast Slopes. And at the end of the show, you came up to me or during an intermission, and you shook my hand and you said, "By the way, it's Pitz, not Fitz." And you were so kind and gentle and humble to me by correcting me like that. And of course, I felt like a giant ass. But I knew at that point, this cat's cool, man. We're going to be friends, and we became friends right off.
Yeah,
and then you started working at the same radio station.
Yeah, 3 weeks later.
Yeah, you came into the Radio Vermont group, and we just hit it off from there. And man, it was a joy seeing you every day. And now you've gone one direction, I've gone another. But
we're both radio refugees.
We are prisoners.
Zing!
Oh my God,
we're free now.
Free. Did you ever think that both of us would be free from radio?
Wow. I was kind of hoping we both could be.
Right. Well,
but I don't think so. At least one of us would still be captured.
We're free. No rules tonight, baby. You can say anything you want. The show's called Aired Out. So you play an instrument. Some might even say that you make love to an instrument called the Didgeridoo. And this is this is an instrument that when I first saw you perform, which was with Chad Hollister and his 10-piece band years ago. He does a show almost annually at the Spruce Peak Performing Arts Center. And I saw you perform. I said, wow, that dude is from Africa. And that instrument is from Africa. And Pitz himself, I mean, come on, with a name like Pitz, he's got to be from Africa. Where are you from, buddy?
and the didgeridoo's from Australia.
Oh my God!
So you're wrong on both.
Wow. So why Vermont from Philadelphia, and why the didgeridoo? How you're going to perform? You're going to play this instrument in just a little bit, and I'm telling you, folks, get ready. And if you don't have a diaper on, you might want to put one on now. Okay. But why Vermont? First off.
Well, I met a beautiful woman about 32 years ago, and we fell in love.
Where'd you meet her?
Outside of Philly.
Okay.
And it's Amy, my wife.
Yeah.
And
who is so badass, by the way.
she was at the show singing.
She's so cool.
Yeah. Thanks, man. She is awesome. So we met. And things were getting serious.
Yeah.
And she said, if you want to stay with me, you got to move to Vermont someday. I said, well, maybe I should check it out before I agree to that. So we came up, and immediately, as soon as we crossed the state line, it was like down near Bennington. We came over the state line there from New York State. And
yeah.
it was like, I felt it right away. It was like, wow, this is really nice. I feel at home here. I want to be here. And I wanted to get away from the Philly area because I grew up there, and it was getting super crowded, super expensive.
Sure.
There's no way in the world we could ever bought a house down there because it's like maybe we can afford the mailbox,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And there's no sense of community. It was like everyone's driving all over the place. There's like these country roads when I was a kid are now 4-lane highways. It got to be gross, and I wanted to get out of there. I didn't know where.
Sure.
So when Amy brought me here to Vermont, I was like, yeah, I could live here. And so a few years later, we moved here with our 8-month-old daughter, Tilly.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, man, and that was 20-plus years ago.
So, Amy, so you woke up one morning and you said, I had a dream that I was playing the didgeridoo, and this is what I need to do. Is that how it happened?
I don't remember exactly how it happened. It's like I always like weird sounds. Sounds are my thing, in weird words and making up words and smushing words together. But sounds, I mean, that's like I was the kid in the back of the room in elementary school making sounds that the teacher was telling to shut the hell up because we're trying to. The other kids are trying to learn something, Pitzy. So it's like, all right, cool. And George Carlin used to say, attracting attention to yourself.
Oh, my God.
and I grew up on the Carlin, Cheech and Chong records because I had older sisters. They had all of them. I was that kid making just weird sounds like whatever was going on.
So like farting sounds and whatnot.
Well, yeah, and multiple sources of the farting sounds.
Wow. So
yes, made up ones and authentic.
Wow.
So it was the sound. I heard the didge somewhere. I don't know where it was. If it was in a movie, The Coca-Cola Kid came out in '84. I don't know if it was in that movie or something else I saw a little bit later in college. There's a Peter Weir movie, The Last Wave.
Yeah.
It might have been in there. Anyway, Amy knew that the didge was like something I would totally dig. And before the internet was even really happening, she got this really cool world music instrument catalog, mail order. She mail ordered me a didge for Christmas, 1993. So
wow,
she saved my life by agreeing to be with me, and then gave me this magical instrument that has taken me everywhere around the planet and a career, a direction. So it came in the mail, and she gave it to me for Christmas, and it came with this little instructional cassette.
I was just going to ask you, was there a manual?
It came with a cassette. That's how old this was, and it was more of like a novelty kind of touristy kind of instrument. It really didn't play that well. It was a little bit too short, but I was trying to play it, and I had this. What saved me was that instructional cassette because the guy was really cool in the way he was describing things. I couldn't see him. There was no video. There was no YouTube. So I was trying everything he was describing, and I was having trouble because this instrument wasn't a real didge. I couldn't get a real didge sound out of it. It was too short. So 6 months later, I found a bamboo didge at a folk fest in New Jersey where Amy was performing for like $5 or something crazy. And as soon as I tried it,
Bang.
in the field, this farm field in New Jersey at this festival, the moment I tried it, I was doing the same thing I did, 4, 5, 6 months prior. I got the drone immediately. I'm like, whoa, there it is, man. I got the sound. And
That was your first time you knew.
boom, hooked, immediately hooked.
That is so cool. So you bought that didge.
Oh, yeah.
Still have it today.
I do not have it today. I gave it to this I did the craft show circuit, music fest circuit, and set up a booth and sell didgeridoos for 5 years in a row, and it was like a grueling circuit. But anyway, this really cool young boy was when you play the didge, some people get it right away, and I know that. And some people are like, it's pretty cool, whatever. This kid, he got it. And he didn't have the money to buy one. I gave him my bamboo didge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you still in touch with him?
Yes, on Facebook.
You're kidding me.
His name's Alex. He lives out in like Oregon now. He's like a organic farmer or something.
Really?
Yeah, he's in his mid-20s.
Dude, I love that story.
Yeah, he's Alex. He's a cool kid.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So when at least for someone like me, when I see an instrument like this, my first thought is, what in the hell is that?
Yeah.
My second thought is, well, it's a branch, it's a stick, and how is it creating this sound? Is this a special wood? Does this wood only come from Australia? And of course, I'm thinking, yes, it must. It is, but it's not just bamboo. Does it have to be a special kind of wood?
No, it
And
doesn't.
you make these?
Yeah, well, I started making them out of necessity because back then I really couldn't afford a really nice one, so I bought the bamboo one at that folk fest, and then outside in Philly, the Philly area, bamboo is like all over the place, and it gets nice and wide and thick, and this place, a house right down the road from us, this woman planted bamboo 30 years before, and it takes over. It's totally invasive. So I had a free source of bamboo right down the road from me, and I started making them out of bamboo, and that's what I sold at the folk festivals. But any hollow tube can be a didge. You can get a didge sound out of it as long as it's about 4 feet long. PVC, cardboard,
Stop it.
Conduit. Yeah, I make them out of, I don't mess with those things. I make them out of all natural materials.
Yeah.
And sunflower stalks, cow parsnips. I know that's like old timers call cow parsnips. It's nasty stuff. But what I do is I wait till it dies off late fall, cut it down, cut the head off, and then get as close to the ground as I can, bring it inside, and let it dry out all winter long. And then I work with it the following spring.
And it's a hard outer
not
shell.
that well. It's kind of like a balsa woody kind of thickness. It's pretty fragile, but it grows totally hollow.
So you make these, you sell them.
Mm-hmm.
PitzQuattrone.com, and we'll spell that for you. It's Pitz, like your armpits, Pitz, Quattrone, Quattrone, not Fitz Calzone, like some of us.
Some guy at a festival
have said
announced
Fitz Calzone and the Freebasers.
Freeloaders. Yeah, man.
My God. So you're going to play this thing here in a second, but the ones that are on the table here, are these all ones that you have made?
Yes.
The reason why I ask is because I swear I have seen these exact didges at Walmart. I'm positive I have. For
They're,
like
they're probably made out of plastic.
for like $14.95.
No way. Get
kidding.
out of here.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Stop it. You're going to give my new heart some problems, and you don't want that.
So you've made all these.
Yeah, I have.
So there's a difference in sound. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, this one right here. This one is my baby. And if you look at the date at the bottom of that, each one I make, I put the date and what key it's in. This one was made in 1999.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
So it's 20 years old. It's my baby.
20 years old.
The didgeridoo is the oldest instrument on planet Earth. It comes from northern Australia and Arnhem Land. If you look at a map of Australia, go all the way to the top in the middle, you'll find the city of Darwin. Go east to the city of Darwin. There's an area called Arnhem Land. That's where the didgeridoo was born.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So tens of thousands of years.
Yeah, and the original ones, it's eucalyptus branches, and termites set up shop right near the eucalyptus tree, and they go underground and get inside the trunk and eat out the tree from the trunk out to the branches, and that's how the original didgeridoos are hollowed out. It's a hollowed out tree branch.
So your website says this magical instrument has taken Pitz from the Arctic Circle to the equator.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Please allow me the opportunity to show you properly how this instrument is played.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, it all starts with your lips flapping like...
Yeah. So can I try it?
You want me to play first, or you want to play first? You
Um,
want to try it?
I'll try it first.
All right, let's give you this one here.
All right.
Give that a whirl.
All right. You ready? This is how it's done.
Not.
Lily, put your jammies on. Lily, put your jammies on. It's time for night-night.
You can talk through the
That
didge.
is how you properly play the didgeridoo. Now, you enlighten us now.
All right, so you get your lips going.
Yeah, so almost like a trumpet or trombone, or
More like what a tuba player does. More
Okay.
like what a tuba player
your lips
does.
have to vibrate.
Yeah, flap, actually. Nice
Flap.
and loose. Like
Okay.
that. Not tight and pressured like a trumpet guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You have
or
to
gal.
relax.
Gotta relax.
Okay.
Here it is. I'll play into this other mic.
You know, I'm trying to figure out where the constant flow of air is coming from.
Circular breathing, my friend.
Circular breathing, whatever
Yes.
the hell that is. Because honestly, how can you exhale and inhale at the same time?
Yeah. Well, that's the circular breathing thing, and what it is your lips are flapping to get the sound. You're going to run out of air eventually. So what I do is
I'm going to run out of air in about 7 seconds.
if that's your limit, my friend.
No, that's my limit right there, buddy.
So as you're beginning to run out of air, what is done is some air is caught in your cheeks on its way out, and with your cheek muscles alone, you empty that mouth full.
No, you've lost me.
Check it out. No, it's easy.
Nope,
It's cheek muscles and timing. That's all it is. And it's kind of like what a bagpipe player does. When the bagpipe player is squeezing the bag to keep the drone in so he can breathe in, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's why the pipes never stop. The drone is always happening. So on the Didge, instead of a bag, you have your cheeks. Your cheeks are the bag. So you're playing along, and you puff your cheeks out, and then with those cheek muscles alone, you empty your mouth, one mouthful at a time, and that keeps your lips flapping for just a second or two, and that's your opportunity to breathe up your nose.
Through your nose.
For your lungs. So check it out.
I could see you doing that.
It's one big circle. It's like this. Okay? So that little puff of air keeps the drone going, so the sound is continuous. You're breathing while you play.
I mean, I'm just sitting here going, it's not happening for me, buddy.
Yeah, man. Well,
That's crazy.
Well,
it's really it's a craft you have to learn. You have to practice.
Yeah, you do. And there's ways of figuring different things out. I've been teaching people for over 20 years, and I've come up with a step-by-step progression to play the Didge. And circular breathing is like step 12 or 13. It's way up there. So the things that we do along the way, you develop muscles and techniques. By the time you're ready to attempt circular breathing, you have those tools in your toolbox.
You say it's one of the most versatile instruments on the globe and can be a component in any kind of music.
Yes.
You can put it into anything, not just world music.
Oh, yeah, not just world
You
music.
can get it to funk. You can get it into reggae.
Bluegrass.
Yeah, and you've done that.
Yes, I have.
You've done. Have you ever played with a symphony?
No, but there's an Australian guy, an Aboriginal guy in Sydney that plays with the, I think it's the Sydney Symphony. Yeah.
Wow, man.
Mm-hmm. As long as you're in the same key, you can make it happen. It's not right for every tune, obviously, but the songs that it is good for and really matches,
Right.
It's powerful stuff. It's the glue. It's the cement. It pulls everything together. The Didge is the foundation of that house.
Now, changing the sound like you just did, and we're going to have you play it again in a minute here. If you missed it, Pitz is going to be playing this again. We're going to try different Didges here.
Cool. But
changing the sound and making it kind of pop and creating some distortion and creating that change of sound. What are you doing? How did you learn how to do that? Was that Amy taking a pencil and jamming it into your ribs?
No, she's not mean.
Well, but it sounds like somebody's hurting you.
Yeah,
Pitz.
well, there's a lot going on. I mean, yeah, it's a hollowed out tree branch, but there's all kinds of technique going on in there. Your first step is to get that nice drone, and that's just your lips doing this. That's all I'm doing in there. The Didge really is a resonator. It's a resonator tube that you get your lips, or the reed of the instrument, really.
Yeah.
They get vibrating, and that goes down, and it catches the Didge, and there's a lot of physics going on with the Didge, and each one is in its own key.
I notice that your neck, you've got quite a neck on you. You've got a neck that's very muscular. You say that there are some health benefits to playing the didgeridoo.
Yeah, it's not only me. There's scientific studies that have proven playing the didgeridoo helps with a lot of different things, but obstructive sleep apnea in particular.
I've got it.
Well, you can play didge to help out.
So what is it? So that strengthens the inner core of your muscles around your throat or your tongue, or
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not a health practitioner, but a doctor has explained it to me
right?
as obstructive sleep apnea. The muscles inside your throat get loose, flabby, not in shape, and they obstruct the airway. So playing the didge, especially that circular breathing transfer, it really works those muscles in the bottom of your throat that are usually the ones causing apnea episodes. It's like an internal workout. It's push-ups for those muscles inside your throat, working that didge, and then eventually they get back nice into shape, into nice and strong, taut again, no longer obstructing the airway. The air can flow, and it's been proven that playing the didge helps dramatically reduce sleep apnea episodes.
That is so remarkable.
I have a link on my website. You can read all about it, and it goes right to the British Medical Journal study. The big one came out in 2005, and ever since, it's been proven over and over again.
PitzQuattrone.com. I met a lady at the end of the benefit show for you at the Barry Opera House in June. At the end of the show, came up to the front of the stage. We were talking about you, and she's like, "Isn't that amazing?" And I said, "Do you play the didge?" And she said, "No, but I listen to the didge to meditate."
Yeah.
It's a constant sound
Yeah.
that almost can be hypnotic. It can almost put you in a form of a trance, maybe.
Yeah,
a meditative.
It's great for meditation for folks listening and folks playing it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's one of the things I've done in the past is play with a meditation ensemble, and we'd go around and set up our stuff, and 4 or 5, or it was 4 of us, and mobile meditation ensemble, Sounds of Spirit, and people would lay down on cushions, and we'd play music for 2 hours straight, and I would play different didges, and I'd walk around and play the didge over them, and yeah, it's powerful stuff. But then, I also play in rock bands
Right.
and funk bands
Right.
and all these other bands.
And you're a writer of music, and you've written so many songs. You've got great recordings everywhere. There's some really funny stuff on YouTube about you.
One of my claims of fame with that,
Yes.
JD,
Yes.
is Dr. Demento has played one of my songs
How is that?
on his show twice.
Come on.
Yes. And he contacted me. He said, "What's this Electric Tan song you have?"
Tell everybody about
It's my proudest moment.
cheesesteaks and tasty cakes.
All right, there's a cheesesteaks and tasty cakes is it's a song now that Chris Robertson and I wrote, but it's also Chris he's one of my dear brothers and musical collaborators, and
Lives where?
downtown Montpelier.
Yeah,
Lives right in Montpelier.
He performs for children and just
Yeah.
everybody.
Does great
I mean,
shows.
he's been in a gazillion different bands. He's the guy with the purple hair.
Right, Chris R. and his flying purple guitar.
I've seen him everywhere.
That's his kids' act.
So talented.
So he is also from the Philly area, and we were talking one night on the phone, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go," and I had to go to Philly the next day. I said, "Yeah, I gotta go down to the land of cheesesteaks and tasty cakes," and he's like, "Hold it right there."
Stop!
Yeah. So he's like, "There's a song right there." I'm like, "Ooh, okay, cool. Let's work on it." So, yeah, we love living in Vermont, and it was the best thing that both of us have ever done. But there's 2 things we miss from the Philly area,
Right.
cheesesteaks and tasty cakes.
What about the Yingling?
Nah,
Will there be a song about Yingling?
No, not
Okay.
from this guy, because neither Chris or I drink, so I'm not going there.
So what happened with cheesesteaks and tasty cakes. First of all, you can watch the video and the song on PitzQuattrone.com, which I'm telling you, everyone, it will change your damn life.
People not even from Philly love that song. I used to get calls at DEV, people, old-time Vermonters, can you play that cheesesteak song, Pitz? Like, yeah, it's fun.
What happened with that song? Once you came out with it, what happened?
Well, a lot of cool things have happened. It's on YouTube, and again, Jim Gallagher, the video guy, did an incredible job with that. And so it's on YouTube. It's 10,000 hits or something. But it's going to be a lifelong mission for me for that song to become an anthem of Philly. Yep. I want it to be played at all the sports arenas, all the bars, tailgate parties, everything.
It's already got some momentum going.
Oh yeah,
what happened?
Absolutely. Well, I sent it down to Philly to various radio stations and TV stations, and this one TV station picked it up, UHF channel 17. In Philly, they had this kind of like a Philly-based weekly show, and they played the video a bunch of times. And it also has been played. The Eagles have a play-by-play announcer, a guy named Merrill Reese, who has been in the industry forever, and he has a tiny little AM station in Levittown, PA, which is kind of the first place I lived, was in Levittown, and I went to high school there. And yes, that Levittown. But the play-by-play guy for the Eagles, Merrill Reese, played it on his radio station down there. So my hope is it makes its way into Lincoln Financial Field where the Eagles play at halftime, and we'll be dancing to cheesesteaks and tasty cakes in the 50-yard line.
That is so cool.
Thanks, man.
By the way, Sal wanted me to extend a congratulations to you for the Eagles win last night.
All right, brother Sal, another Philly expat.
Oh my God, both of you are just killing me.
Cool.
So that is so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's quite a story. You know, what's the story about this guy from Black Panther?
Okay. The Black Panther movie is the big hit a couple years ago. I can back up a little bit. One of the guys who was at the Barry Opera House show, Tony Vaca, which you've met.
Oh my God,
he's an incredible percussionist, composer, vocalist,
vibraphone or whatever the heck it was, marimba,
balafone is what it's called.
Unbelievable.
It's the original xylophone, is what that is, from West Africa.
I couldn't believe my ears.
Yeah. Well, Tony he's the man. And talk about a instigator, rule breaker, maverick, kind of daredevil musically, like I am with the Didge.
You don't even have to hear him; just look at him. Seriously, I mean,
yeah, he's
a cool cat, man.
He's a cool cat, and he's another one of my dear brothers from different mother. He's a special human, and I met Tony back in 1994. But anyway, one of Tony's brothers from a different mother is a man named Masamba Diop, who's Senegalese. And Masamba and Tony, about 20 years ago, started something called the Senegal America Project. American folks go to Senegal to cultural exchange, hang out 2-3 weeks, eat, perform,
embrace
teach,
the culture.
Tour, record, and then Senegalese guys and women come to the U.S. and we do the same kind of thing. And Masamba he's in, if the listener or viewers know, he's started a band with Baba Mal, and Baba is a superstar on the European and African continents. He's huge. And he and Masamba went to college together. They started a musical thing in college, and now they tour the world. I mean, they do gigs like the Olympics. You know, they're like at that level.
Yeah.
So, but getting back to the Black Panther movie is Baba Mal, if you hear the singing in the background, it's a beautiful high nasal kind of voice. That's Baba. And the talking drum is what Masamba plays, more accurately called the Tama, Tama. He's a Tama master. If you hear all the drums in the Black Panther soundtrack, that is Masamba Jope, and Masamba's one of my brothers too. He just signed a new deal for the second Black Panther movie. He and Baba are going to do the soundtrack for that as well.
He says, Pitz Quattrone in action, the man always gives the best of him.
That's my man.
That's what he said about you.
Yeah, I know. He's another very, very special person, and he's giving. He gives, and we traveled with Masamba. He comes to he's in the U.S. now. He has a daughter who lives in L.A., so he has an East and West Coast, and Midwest connections, really all over the world. But in this country, he has 3 home bases in Massachusetts, Ohio, and California.
Who's this David Hudson who's endorsed you?
David Hudson is an Aboriginal elder who runs a traditional cultural center in Queensland, Australia, and we had a couple of mutual friends. He was actually, if you go back 25 years, there's some Yanni videos where he played at the Acropolis and different places around the world, and the whole tour was filmed, and he had an Aboriginal Didge player with him. That was David Hudson. And David and I have a mutual friend who was in Yanni's band with David, and that's how I connected with David. And he digs what I do with the Didge, and he's totally supportive. And if I have the support of an Aboriginal elder, I'm on the right track, man.
That's something else.
Yeah.
When I hear this instrument, when I see this instrument, I can't help but think, oh, that's the instrument that the Tibetans play while they're sitting on top of Mount Everest. Am I
Different instrument.
different? What am I thinking of?
Yeah, that's. I don't know the name of that horn, but I know what you're talking about because I've seen those cats play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very long. It's almost like that Alpenhorn
Yes.
from Switzerland.
Yes.
It's really, really long, and it has a different type of mouthpiece and
Right.
a different embouchure that the player uses to get the tone out of it.
Okay. And every time I see, something like that, I'm thinking to myself, how the hell did those guys get that thing up that high on that mountain? I mean, that's what I want to know.
Maybe they built it up there.
I don't know. I mean, was it strapped to his back?
Or
I
they
don't know.
screwed it together once they got up there.
So now that you've essentially, some might say, have hit the restart button on your life. You're back. You went into this surgery. Mind you, Mick Jagger had the same surgery, I think, the day after you.
Yeah, the day after me. He had the less invasive one.
You had the more invasive one,
Yeah.
which you've explained. The more invasive one is ironically for the folks who might be younger and maybe even healthier.
Yeah, because the
procedure's done more accurately.
the surgeons have more access to the areas they need to go
Sure.
if they do the invasive technique. So it's
Yeah.
less risky for them,
Right.
more healing recovery time for the patient.
Right.
Mick is like 75,
Right.
and so they didn't want to take too many chances, so they
course.
did the less invasive one. Yeah, he had the same valve replaced, the aortic valve, 1 day after me.
And you reached out to the Rolling Stones.
I did. I knew that Mick was having that surgery, and I reached out to their management, and I said, hey, crazy coincidence here. It's 1 day apart. Mick and I are having the same valve replaced.
Right.
I want to send my best wishes and thoughts to him. And
Yeah.
they wrote me back twice, and they were super cool. And they said, best wishes to you, Pitz. We passed on your message to Mick and one of your songs.
That is so Incredible.
It's really
incredible.
It's incredible. It was so humane. It was like a human to human contact. And this
Right.
guy is like the biggest rock star on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
And they were cool. They were super cool. I'm Joe Blow from nobody. From
Sure.
who's this guy from Vermont with a Didge player and he's got a surgery?
Yeah.
No, they were really humane to me.
So you've come out of this surgery with a newfound appreciation for life. You've been richly blessed.
Yeah.
I think we both would agree. You're such a humble dude. You're so grateful. What do you want to do differently? I understand your mission, just from glancing at your Facebook page and your website and just listening to you here. Your mission is to share this love and appreciation for this interesting instrument. What new level do you want to take things differently going forward involving this instrument that maybe you didn't see as clearly prior to the surgery? I know that might be a loaded question.
Yeah, well, it comes down to time available. How much time do I have?
Because that's what it's all about.
How
in
much
the end.
time do you have?
It's all about time, man.
And what you're doing with that time. You doing something good?
Sure.
You doing something stupid?
Yeah.
You doing something bad?
Right.
Or are you just wasting your time? I
Well said, my
I
man.
have no time to waste. I want to reach as many people as I can with the Didge. And really one of my big things, JD, is I want to make people feel good. I like having fun. I want to make people laugh and smile and feel good. 'Cause
Sure.
there's so much bad stuff in the world.
Yeah.
We have enough of that. Let's counterbalance that with some good stuff. And even if it's like a silly, goofy song and you're just giggling, mission accomplished. So that's what I want to do. I want to record as many songs as I can of my own and put them out there and do videos to them, because the videos, if you go to my website and check, you've seen the videos that Jim Gallagher's done for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just I want to have fun. And actually bringing this up now is I found out about this really cool grant that I'm going to apply for, where I can either make a whole album, 12 songs, or I can make 3 new songs and with 3 accompany videos with it. So I'm gonna apply to this grant. The deadline's at the end of January, and they announce the winners in May.
What's the name of the grant? Hopefully we can get them the link to tonight's show.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. It's in New York City.
Okay.
It's a music industry grant, and they're interested in new music, any genre, and it's like their language is really cool. It's like, we're interested in getting money to artists, not good grant writers.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wow.
"Bing, that's me."
Wow. Wow.
So that's what to answer your question a little bit ago. I don't want to waste any more time, man. I have limited time, and I know that now because I was approaching the door.
Yeah,
And,
you were.
So I want to reach as many people as I can with my music, and just help people feel good. Even if I just go, play for them, or if I teach them how to play, whatever.
Yeah.
I just want people to be happier.
And kids too. They love to see this guy, this creature, come into their school with this long hair and this huge ass stick that you're blowing into.
Yeah, kids love the Didge. I mean, it's a kid magnet. As soon as I start playing, no matter what country, it's like they come right to it.
They love it.
Yeah.
So
it's
you've incorporated this instrument into all different genres of music. You have played with such a vast variety of musicians just right here in Vermont.
Yeah.
I mean, I first saw you and experienced you on stage with Chad Hollister, but man, you've just played with so many people. I mean,
well,
you want to give a shout out to any of these guys? I mean, there's
my
just
God.
so many.
Well, it's well, Tony Vaca, we've covered Tony and Masamba, and I've played with Dark Star Orchestra. Those guys are my buds, the Strange Folk guys, Max Creek. So we're talking about like the jam band world. And then there's Dave Keller, and Professor Louis is this guy over in New York who was the keyboard player and produced the last 3 albums for the band.
Yeah.
I played with Louis and his band.
What about Blue Fox?
Yeah, I played with Blue Fox.
Yeah.
Yep. And but yeah, to name, I don't know. I can't come up with a bunch of names, but yeah. But what my main focus right now musically is the 2-man band. It's not a duo; it's a 2-man band with Chris Robertson, and it's 2 years old, and we call it Didgeridoo.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's really my main focus musically now, and we sound like 5 guys on stage.
Yes, you do. You do.
And we've played in a couple really cool places, up at the Dog Mountain Concert Series in St. Jay. First night, St. Jay. We're going to be there this year, again this year.
Wow.
Yeah, and the Vermont Parks and Rec holds this showcase event at Lake Morey next month. We're going to play there. And that's a really cool one because there's talent buyers from all over the state and New England. You do your thing for 10 minutes, and I've been there before with Tony, and like right after people are getting out their calendars and we're booking dates just like that. It's actual showcase that is worth doing. Most are not.
You've been to every corner of Vermont, and you're a busy guy. You're running around. God bless Amy for putting up with all of it.
That's true. I thank her almost daily for that.
Can you demo
Sure.
one or more of these and maybe take us out here for the next couple of minutes?
Sure. Well, the didge is like any other instrument. The shorter, skinnier ones are going to be higher pitched. The longer, wider ones, deeper and bassier. So to give you an idea, like this little guy is going to be high and bright. The little didges, their nickname is the mosquito because they kind of sound like that flying around. Versus like something like this guy. This is like grandpa hanging. So that's like the 2 big contrasts that I have here with me tonight. But would you like me to play my baby for a couple of minutes?
I want to hear that. I want to hear. Well, let's go out with your baby, but I want to hear the others too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, this guy is just a straight up standard didge. I sell some standard didges and I sell a fancy line, and I like to make them very affordable for folks to play.
PitzQuattrone.com to learn more to order up a didge.
Yeah, there's a store there, and I have 3 sizes of beginner didges made out of wood, all 3 under $100.
Oh my God.
And then I'll play this fancy guy here. But it all starts with the lips flapping, my friend.
Yeah. This is fascinating to me. You don't have to be a musician to appreciate something like this. It's an art, it's a craft, it's a skill and a talent, and it's a passion of yours that has really become your lifeblood.
Yeah, and there's a lot of history and culture to it too. It's there's nothing bad about the didgeridoo.
Tens of thousands of years old.
Yeah, man,
it's amazing.
Yeah, world's oldest musical instrument.
So folks can keep up with you, find out where you're going to be performing next on your Facebook page.
Yep, and my website. I'm everywhere on the internet. It's YouTube, Twitter, SoundCloud. Where Facebook, my own website, Bandcamp. I'm just plug in Vermont Didgeridoo, and you'll find me. I'm probably the first 27 listings for that.
And what town do you live in?
I live in East Montpelier.
Local dude.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Pitz Quattrone, my guest this time around on Aired Out. Take us out, baby.